Find the note. That's a cool sound. It's like slightly flat, flatter than a C. My piano might be out of tune, but anyways. You know, I think I remember you specifically saying, like, let's not worry about how it sounds yet, but kind of focus on the process. And so I remember that was like an interesting thing. I haven't done that in a long time, you know, just to kind of be free from deadlines or schedules and just kind of sit at the piano and play. There's this piece of felt there. They install these in upright pianos as a way to mute the sound. And it just occurred to me that, you know, when you put the felt over the strings, you're hearing more of the reverb, the ambiance, you know, because you're kind of dampening the attack.
So much more delicate and like you said, I think earlier, intimate.
Yeah.
With the felt engaged. Right. I love that. That's such a cool sound.
I call what I do the art of disappearing. It's a situational awareness. It's a richness of being. It's a tapping into this great show that's going on all around you. There's that Harry.
That little theme there that we have is from The Art of Disappearing. I treated it as sort of like something that is perhaps has a spiritual quality in a sense. Because really it's, you know, simply it's just like these chords moving up and down. And in a way it's kind of like a hymn in a way, you know, because they're blocked harmonies. There's no movement besides this sort of vertical movement of the notes.
My name is John Cage. I'm from Stony Point, New York.
One of, you know, John Cage's things was sticking nails and bolts into the piano, but I didn't want to damage the strings in any way, or so I just put a little anchor on it, and then you stick this in between a string. Like a bell, and very characteristic of what John Cage would do in his prepared piano stuff. You know, John Cage has like this whole system, like he wrote out a whole set of instructions, and I think I have it somewhere. But I don't know if you can see, but this is like a copy of his preparations. So he got very specific. Down to what type of material you use, on what string, the distance between where the object is.
How much, I guess, prepared piano is in the score itself?
As the conversation moves to noise pollution, more foreign objects were introduced into the piano. Oh, I did this too. Like hooked this onto. I'm not even sure what this is, but I did that. I think I just kind of hooked it onto a string and. You get like the upper harmonics. But there was a whole section in the film where it was more about noise pollution and you know the effects of that, and so conceptually. It was like, you know, here's a piano, here's something pure, and let's just throw a bunch of objects at it and to kind of conceptually create the noise in the music.
Well, what is that? What did you just put in there?
It's a ear plug. This one's like a rubber one, and then I have foam ones as well. But, you know, it just kind of dampens the sound a little bit. So you get more of a percussive sound. the sounds that I used quite a bit. Getting that rattle.
Some would say that making a film about silence and creating a score for that is a bit of a paradox, or at least a conflict, thematically speaking.
I think we're pretty judicious about where we let the music kind of into the conversation. And, you know, I kind of thought of it in a way that the music is not necessarily accompanying the film, but as a character in the film, you know, where the spaces between the notes is like the music actively listening to its surroundings. So I think hopefully that sort of gave it a little bit more dimension. But you know, of course, there were a lot of moments when the film just kind of stood on its own without any music, and those were beautiful moments as well. And I remember you saying to me specifically, you know, treat the silence as dialogue. And of course, you know, as a film composer, dialogue is something you have to treat very sensitively. And especially when you think of the sounds as dialogue, it gives you sort of a whole new perspective on the approach. You know, not being afraid of just kind of letting one of those notes sit for a longer period of time.